No matter. Hello there, I'm here with Sam and Ian. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing great.
Good, and we're back with Kingdom Hearts 2. Dream cutscenes.
Yeah. Sorry about that whole thing with...
Yeah. Right, so, gentlemen, we have a choice.
Steal your submarine or your garden?
Yeah. Well, we could either go back to Twilight Town, as that is now an option, and I think it's the one the store, or we have yet to visit Halloween Town or the Pride Lands.
Let's do the Pride Lands.
Okay.
Get some furry porn on this motherfucker.
Sam said it, no one else.
I know, I said it for that reason.
Yeah.
For the same reason Marek killed a homeless person in Bloodlines. I went, I can't believe I've been a vampire for 5 minutes and I've already sucked off a hobo.
Huh. Stampede!
No need to look so happy about it.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh, that's not even trying. That's more like a nervous face going, yeah, right, wildebeests coming right at me. Yeah, I'm gonna go. And now Scar's being obvious.
I still stand by the theory that, you know, that Scar is the only character who seems to know he's in a movie.
Remember who you are.
Hey,
You are an
check us out.
asshole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've ordered Tobal number
This
1,
place
by the
is
way.
kind of creepy, though.
I can't get number 2 because it was never released outside of Japan. Though I do think the idea that you can play as a chocobo is funny.
Heartless?
Oh, I don't know, Sora. I get the feeling they might live here.
Oh my gosh!
Hyenas.
Yeah, that's right.
Laughing
Don't be
bastards.
silly. We'd love you to stick around for lunch.
We didn't bring anything to eat.
That's not gonna be a problem. Gosh, Sora. I think we're the lunch.
And that's not Whoopi Goldberg.
Yeah.
Whoopi hosting the Oscars.
I hate Republicans.
Whoa!
Republicans are so
Going
stupid.
somewhere?
I just love Roger's thing from American Dad when he's dying, and the only way for him to live is to basically be bitchy.
Yeah.
Man, that scar's
You've got no rhythm. You've got no
let him
style.
grow
I've seen epileptics eating a
Better go
bowl of
see what he
noodles that
wants.
had more
Sounds
grace.
like he's grumpy enough already.
Okay, calm down. No, let Roger have his bit. If you wanted to cause the biggest atrocity to the world not seen since Whoopi
I don't
hosted
know
the
what that
Oscars,
was
then
about,
bravo.
But I'm glad it's over.
I can see every human being rising
Everything's
against you,
harder
tearing
on
you
4
limb
legs.
from limb, and then burying what remains of your corpse
Well,
next
I
to
found a
Hitler.
trick to it.
In
Here,
short,
let me show
you
you.
are a terror, I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah, so Shenzi here is voiced by Tress McNeil.
Yeah.
who does the voice of Daisy Duck and Gadget from Rescue Rangers, as well as Chip.
Alright.
She also voices Chip in this game.
Huh.
And she's also in Animaniacs as Dot.
Are voice actors paid for the characters, like each character they voice, or is it like...
I don't know,
Are you
really.
thinking what I'm thinking?
Yes.
What do we do?
But the other two hyenas are voiced by the same guys.
Stay back.
Cheech Marin and Jim Cummings.
Did I just pile drive a Heartless?
Probably. That move is banned. Who could have broken his neck? Kill him more peacefully.
Definitely heartless.
Thank you. You really saved me.
We're just glad you're okay.
Did you see any other heartless around here?
Heartless? Is that what they're called? I'm not sure if there are any others. I don't usually hunt outside the Pride Lands.
Pride Lands?
Hey, do you know if a guy named Riku is there? Or some bad guys in black hoods? Or maybe this really big bully named Pete? Oh well, we might as well go take a look anyway.
Wait, the Pride Lands are dangerous. Scar and the hyenas have made things unbearable for everyone. There's no food left. They've driven off the prey. We're about to starve.
We can handle a little danger. You just saw us beat those heartless, didn't you?
I guess you're right. You could be just what the kingdom needs. Maybe you can help us.
You mean take on this Scar guy and all those hyenas?
Star?
He took over when our last king, Mufasa, died.
So you're saying this guy's your king? You want us to take down your king? Wait just a minute. We can't just go around knocking kings off their thrones. Then again, if they see that I'm stronger than their king, maybe they'll ask me to be their next king.
Sora?
I'd have to refuse, of course. Still, I'd like to see the Pride Lands, so you guys don't mind lending them a paw, do you?
Uh-oh. Here it goes again.
She's gonna go on ahead and tell the other lionesses. We're supposed to meet her at a place called Pride Rock.
It's cool that you can actually move really quick in this world, like.
Yeah.
And I wasn't imagining things, was I? I did just pile drive a Heartless.
Yes, you pile drove the Heartless. You must be very proud.
I wonder if the respawn glitch is still here after you've done the second one of these.
You mean the one where you can just level up really fast?
Yeah, do you remember that one?
One where you go to Pride Rock and use the gravity spell over and over again?
Yeah, the very top of Pride Rock. I think I told you about that, didn't I? It's how I got to level 99, which allowed me to defeat Sephiroth.
Yes, the high and mighty Sephiroth.
You're gonna be fighting him?
I'm sure it's on Ollie's to-do list.
Oh yeah, always.
Oh yeah.
If there's a game, I'm gonna make it my business to fight him in it.
Well, just wait till Dissidia comes out tomorrow.
you know, I could probably go to town and get that.
I could give you the money you need to get out of financial debt, but it's better if I don't. Give it 20 minutes, give it a few hours, I'll have pissed away 20 grand, literally.
Nala here is voiced by Vanessa Marshall, who voices Erwin from Grim Adventures.
Oh.
The little black kid.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
Is anybody up there?
Oh, hey, Mandy.
You know my favorite thing from the Grimm
What?
it was that Brain song.
Oh yeah, by what's his name? The singer. It's not his
And then
name.
Mandy becomes like the alien thing, and then just demands brains.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, did you know there was a Resident Evil comic book that was made by Marvel? So technically for a while, Wesker was a Marvel character. I mean, it messes with a lot of the game logic, and assumes that the SARS members live in the RPD. It's very short as well, there's only one issue, and it's now collector's edition, but I've read one.
Does he manage to kill Chris?
No, it literally half the comic is literally Richard running away from unseen zombies while carrying a radio the size of a backpack that doesn't work.
Why is he carrying it then?
I don't know. Well, he's trying to get it to work, and Wesker's sitting at his desk sharpening a katana for some reason. I don't know why Wesker has a katana, but he does.
So, is this pre-Resident Evil 1 Wesker, like, while he was still part of the...
Yes. This was literally just before the Alpha team went out, and he's sharpening a katana in his office. And then afterwards decides after a few hours, you know what, Barry, get in here. Wake the other STARS members. We're going after the Bravo team. And Chris is smoking a cigarette. And I always imagine the Japanese intro, the I got a shotgun intro, which always ends with a woman screaming. If you haven't heard the I got a shotgun thing, just know it's now a meme that exists. I got a shotgun.
Rafik is voiced by the original actor.
Oh, nice. Rafiki's voiced by the original actor. Awesome.
Who sadly died last year.
Oh.
Yeah.
But he says it won't work.
Oh, some banana squash banana.
Whoever saves the Pride Lands will be our next king. And he has to have the right qualities. Meaning...
Why
are you smiling about something so miserable?
Oh,
I'm sorry you came
I hope the character models in Kingdom Hearts 3 improve.
You better
They're better. They've had two console generations to do it.
Sorry.
Hope so.
Well,
They seem to be
sorry,
smiling
guys.
at the wrong time.
I can take Scar. I'll just shove the key in his throat. Hey, that you bastard.
Okay.
You got a map of Pride Rock. Aren't you a special fucking snowflake? There's nothing. You see a painting of a lion. Clearly only the monkey could have done this.
Hey, a snack?
Snack? Nah. We got us a 3-course meal.
I'm Fun fact, hyenas can digest pretty much
Dad, here
anything.
comes Scar, the king.
And Pete.
Yo.
Oh god, Pete's a lion.
My back.
What are you doing here?
Oh, the cute little kitty's worried about me. If I were you, I'd be more worried about my friends. We're surrounded!
Go on, ladies. You've got some hunting to do.
The herds have moved on, Scar. We can't
Who's
hunt in
voicing
a land
Scar?
with no prey.
No prey. Then
His
what
name
do
is
you
James
want
Horan,
We're not prey.
and the only thing I know him from is
Well,
he's in
they're
the
all yours, Scar.
English. He's in the English cast of the first Yakuza game as the Triad leader.
Oh,
Run!
No, come on, we can
Yeah.
take him.
Follow me!
And he sounds nothing like Scar.
Yeah. So they couldn't get Jeremy Irons.
No.
He won't follow us the several feet that we're going.
Yeah,
Especially if we stop to take down every single fucking Heartless we see. He'll definitely not catch up that way.
Yeah, only two of the original voice actors from The Lion King come back.
Suck it, weird.
And that's Rafiki and Pumbaa.
I'm still living with the fact that Eric is played by Antoine Nicolet.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot Cheech Marin and Jim Cummings as well, so that's 4 actors from The Lion King come back.
But just think about it, we could defeat Prince Eric with just margarine.
But we don't fight Prince Eric.
Oh, come on. Margarine.
But he's not a bad guy.
I know, but still. Come on. He was tortured by having food cooked wrong. It's just brilliant. You're monster. He was going to give away secrets that would, ultimately, if he gave away, would ruin the freedom fighters' entire thing. And their way of life. Just because they put margarine in cooking instead of butter.
Yeah.
Hey,
No,
look
it's
at
like-
that face, Simba.
You're a monster.
You gotta
You're an
lighten up
absolute
and live a
monster.
little.
You're a savage.
Yeah.
It's funny because Antoine
guess.
is Prince Eric,
Yes,
and
right?
the woman who voices Sally and Nicole is Sally and Shock in Nightmare Before Christmas.
Oh, and they're in such different worlds.
Would you look how he's
You know,
Simba's
the actual
voice.
plan
Why,
from
when
the
I
guy
rescued
who
the little
made
guy,
Sat-AM, his
he was
plan
only
for Nicole
this
was
big.
dramatically different from what we ended up with. He actually wanted Nicole to be someone who was alive at some point, but then tricked and trapped in a computer somehow. Oh, that's good. That's very good. Very nice indeed.
Smell that pollution.
Smell that delicious pollution.
Sex.
Yes, we get it. The original Robotnik from Sat-AM sounds like he's about to rape everything that he talks to.
No, I think he was
no,
making
no,
a
no.
reference to the optical illusion in the Lion King movie.
Yeah.
Look, I still
What's
live with the
wrong?
whole.
We're
I
never
still
gonna
live in that
make it.
whole thing with the, where the
I guess Rafiki
Little
was
Mermaid's
right.
castle is a penis.
What?
Never mind, it's
Oh.
not important.
Oh, yes, I
Here,
remember
I'll
Brental
show you
Floss mentioning
how.
it at one point during a nostalgia
You
critic
can
thing.
do it.
Oh, a penis! All dressed up as a ringleader from a circus.
Yeah, Simba in this game is voiced by Cam Clark, who voiced Leonardo in the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And he was also the original English dub voice of Kaneda in Akira.
Can someone explain the appeal of Akira to me? I mean, I mean, it's a good film, but I don't understand why it's achieved this legendary status that it has.
Look, I think you've got to remember, as with many things, the time itself. I think that's kind of what gave it a lot of its status, was the fact that when it was released, anime was not in the abundance that it is now.
And in its time, it was groundbreaking.
It was like the 1980s or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was around the 80s. It was around the 1980s. So there was nothing like Studio Ghibli or anything like it at the time.
Yeah, Studio Ghibli was in the 80s.
What?
Yeah, Studio Ghibli was around in the 80s.
Yeah, but I mean not to the abundance that it is now. It wasn't as freely, around as it is now. I mean, now you can pretty much catch it on Channel 4 every so often. But Akira got,
Oh my god, the Sex Petals are going over Pride Rock.
So, you have to explain to me what the hell the Sex Petals are?
Because in the film where Simba collapses on
Are you trying to say the petals are ejaculate?
No, because when he falls down onto top of it, the leaves blow and they sort of form like this word. It's they formed the word SFX, which is supposed to mean special effects. It has a nod to the special effects crew. But then everyone thought the F was an E.
So he was sending his sex to Rafiki, who then smelt it. It's all salty.
When Simba's father, King Mufasa, died, we were told that Simba died alongside him.
Oh, it's all sticky.
Who told you that?
Scar.
Exposition. And in fact, why don't we just give up?
It is time.
We can just surrender. That's all we French know how to do, right? Jerry Lewis.
It must be Simba. Sora, hurry!
Wait up.
Do you know the way?
Hopefully by the end of this... Oh no. Hopefully by the end of this stream, we'll get to the cool part where you have to face down 1,000 Heartless.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
You know what my favourite part of the Lion King is?
What?
Ebola.
What? Ebola. Protect the queen.
Protect the... I thought it's the Lion King. We're not protecting the goddamn queen.
Protect the queen.
I'm not protecting your goddamn queen. She's a thought. And stop pile driving things. Ollie, you are not Jerry the King goddamn Lawler.
It's a banned move for a reason. Bell's coming back.
I know. Jim Cornette's already given his view on it as well.
Okay, I think I can basically guess what it is.
He doesn't really care, to be honest. He says it's not surprising to him, because he said Vince has got this obsession that his company has to be everything but wrestling, and the jury's still out on whether it's even that anymore. You know, they have to have the mindset backstage has always been, we're not wrestling, we're entertainment, we're going to do movies and everything else.
Well, it's either that or the original idea in that Glow series.
Well, the thing is, apparently, Vince is doing the entire thing himself. It's his company, Alpha Entertainment, which he sold most of his stock in WWE to get. So he's made his own company, so it's separate. There's going to be no crossover between WWE and actually looking into it, if done correctly, and Vince has learned from his mistakes. There is a bit of irony in one of the statements he made. He said that 3-hour football games are too long because no one wants to watch something like that for 3 hours straight. It's ludicrous.
Yeah.
This
So
is
it's
the
not
guy who
gonna-
has 3-hour Raws and says it's acceptable.
So XFL is not wrestling.
No,
No, it's football. What didn't you know about the XFL thing that he did before that cost him billions of dollars?
I only know the name.
Okay, history lesson, because let's face it, it wouldn't be the first time I've done a history lesson on your stream. If you remember, I had to explain the Montreal screw job to your friend at one point.
Yeah.
Okay, so the XFL, Vince McMahon in around 2000, he started his own. He got together with ABC to make his own football league, the XFL. However, it was it was taken. He spent all this time mocking the NFL for all these other things, all the things they did and everything, because that's how Vince does things. They got an entire season, and they had wrestlers coming on like The Rock and The Undertaker and everything else coming on and endorsing the XFL. But then, of course,
oh, Pete's here. Hello there.
Hey, Pete. So anyway, what ended up happening was the first day, a blimp crashed into a seafood restaurant or something and cost about $20 billion in damage on just the first day. No one was killed, but that was the first problem. Then the ratings just got lower and lower and lower. Vince started doing desperate things, and in the end, it cost them about $50 million each.
We'll back you up.
Just for the XFL alone.
What's the drill?
So,
you know it.
Yeah. So ABC pulled out of the deal, and all the other networks didn't want to touch it because, again, it was associated with wrestling. Vince was given the option to continue the XFL, but SmackDown would have to be cut down to 90 minutes. Vince took his black and red ball and then wandered off and ran off, and the XFL died. And the problem was, another thing was that people got injured too quick, the game times were a bit different, and to be fair, from what I've read, a lot of innovations that did come out of the XFL did make it into the NFL, but a lot of the players were not actually, they were not NFL caliber. And they were trying to force rivalries between coaches and Jesse Ventura. I just want to point that out there, that Vince McMahon kept telling Jesse Ventura to egg on this one person, and this one person wanted nothing to do with it. He just wanted to do his damn job. But this time, WWE is not getting involved in it. It's going to be its own football league, and apparently he's going to cut the game times down, change it so it's a bit safer, yet more interesting. All these other silly things that he wants to do. So,
is he going to add storylines to it?
I don't know. Look, if you want to get a better understanding of the XFL and what it was, Wrestling with Regret got together with the Know-It-All fan to explain what it actually was.
Right.
So it is worth watching just to learn what it was, but Vince has made some changes. As far as I know, as to how it's actually going to, what's this going to do, what it's actually going to be.
Oh, Jack, can I join, please? You alright with that, guys?
Yeah, go ahead.
I think so.
He just said,
And he also says that those Jesse Ventura YouTube groups were very funny. I'm not seeing... Oh, there you are.
I've noticed in 2006 that Triple H mocked it when he was mocking Vince McMahon. And he goes, "Oh, when what Triple H did to me, it was embarrassing. It was more embarrassing than when Triple H pedigreed me. It's worse than when Shawn Michaels threw my son Shane into my alabaster keister. It's worse than, well, worse than the XFL."
So, here we are again.
Hey, Jack.
How are we all?
Alright, I suppose.
yeah.
Yeah, I've had a rather eventful weekend as well.
It's Nala! Don't you recognize her?
I got so bored I found myself going back to DC Universe Online.
Wow, that is desperate.
Nala?
It makes for a surprisingly good pastime, actually, all things considered.
Have they updated the game any?
Simba!
Sorry?
Have they updated the game?
Yeah, more or less. I mean, I've managed to get most of them just by spending 60 quid on a Ultimate Edition.
Hey, what's going on here?
Got a lot of powers with it. I mean, they're letting you have a shield now, so you can create a Captain America look-alike.
Sure, why not?
Don't worry.
And they also gave you foot skimmers like the kind Mr. Miracle uses to fly around with. There isn't any real discernible difference between it and actual flying, as far as I can tell, but it looks cool, so I'll give it that.
You are a pig, right?
I suppose it has its thing. It has its thing.
So where are we really going, Aspen? An elephant rave.
Could you guys excuse us for a few minutes? Why am I not surprised?
My words are a warthog's backside. You won't get a sniff without me.
Simba, you've got to come back to Pride Rock. I thought Sora might be able to help, but you're the only one who can save us from Scar.
So yeah, really good Royal Rumble. I think it's funny that Ollie, when Shinsuke Nakamura won, I don't know if you heard, Liz squealed so loud that the cat ran away in fear.
No, I did hear.
Sometimes bad things
Oh,
happen.
I'm surprised you didn't leave a little brown stain on the carpet while running away.
Simba?
I
Liz
can
was
see
very
what's
excited.
happening, but they don't have a clue.
According to Brainiac
They'll
Science,
fall in
there is
love, and
actually...
here's the bottom line. Our trio's down to 2.
Sorry, Jack, what were you saying?
According to Brainiac Science Abuse, there actually is a noise that can actually cause that sort of reaction.
Yeah, there is. It's called the brown noise.
Oh, you've heard of it?
Yeah, the French experimented with it in World War II.
I only saw Richard Hammond experiment with it on Brainiac Science Abuse. Well, back when that show was still
Yeah,
popular.
it was a thing that South Park even mocked it at one point.
That was huge when Richard Hammond was on it, wasn't it?
I liked the first few episodes when Vic Reeves did it, but afterwards it didn't. It just went downhill a bit.
It lost
I
something.
mean, Vic Reeves with the flamethrower, that was funny.
Because of me. It's my fault.
No one's going to tell me it wasn't.
Go back. It won't change anything.
Mind you, pretty much anything's good with a flamethrower if you think about it.
Look at the stars. The great kings of the
Son,
past
I'm
look
disappointed.
down on us from those stars.
I'm so
whenever
angry
you
with
feel
you.
alone,
I could walk away like
just
a
remember
pimp.
that those kings will always
Don't
be there
talk to me or my son ever again.
Don't talk to my son or my
Father,
son's future self
Are you
again.
there?
Yes, there's no surprise you did forget about it, Pete. It's kind of gone off the air somewhat for a very good long while. I think you might find episodes on YouTube, but that's YouTube.
Ellie, how are you doing in Dragon Ball Fighters?
Yeah, well, I mean, if you follow me on Twitter, I've shared a buttload of screenshots.
So, tell me, how's the story mode going?
It's very fanficky.
Yes, I've seen Nappa and Gotenks' bit. It's actually kind of funny as hell.
Nappa and Gotenks have a bit.
Gotenks keeps asking Nappa to go Super Saiyan. He's just telling him to shut up. You don't all go Super Saiyan. He's like, oh, come on. You know how to go Super Saiyan, right? No, shut up. Come on, let me show you. Okay, fine. And then Gotenks makes up a way of how it goes. You've got to build up all your energy together and go, whoa, and then you let it all out like boom. And then Nappa starts trying to do it to turn Super Saiyan. And nothing happens.
That Mufasa bit keeps reminding me of Kung Pao. This is CNN. CNN.
That was actually James Earl Jones. But archive footage.
Of course. But yeah, I've seen quite a few good scenes. I've seen Cell trying to explain to Goku what hell's like.
Yeah.
And I've seen Cell and Frieza meeting Majin Buu and not really sure what to make of him.
I did a job for John Constantine on DC Universe Online, so I've seen it as well.
Ugh. This is Majin Buu. So, Majin Buu, are you an android? Were you created by Dr. Gero?
Dr. Gero? That's a funny name.
Oh, good God.
Oh, Pete wants to know if Matthew Broderick is still Simba in this.
No, it's Cam Clark.
No, Pete, it's Cam Clark. He says, oh, it's Cam Clark.
Yeah, you don't have to say it like that's a bad thing.
Cam Clark is
people
fine.
do the best they can. So, just because it's not the original.
Remember when Timon and Pumbaa had their own television show on the
channel? I watched a few episodes while I was during some of my visits to Florida.
What are we gonna do? Taste good, I suppose.
I still think Looney Tunes was funnier though.
Oh yeah, obviously.
I mean, come on, Roadrunner, you just can't argue with Roadrunner.
Well, it's not fair to compare anything to Looney Tunes, really.
No.
Well, actually you can, because they created some more modern shows and they're actually quite stupid.
Look, one thing I remember I still remember that one thing from Wayne's World when they questioned the whole thing with Bugs Bunny dressing up. Hey Wayne, what? Did you ever think Bugs Bunny was attractive when he dressed up like a girl bunny? No. Me either.
I keep wondering just how many people know that Roadrunners are actually real.
Oh, they're real.
I know they're real. I'm just wondering how many people know that.
I'm sure a lot of people do.
Right.
There are people who eat Tide Pods, I wouldn't be surprised by anything.
You mean the wheels in your head weren't turning before you looked at Looney Tunes, Pete? Why does that make so much sense?
That's a YouTube poop
It's a
reference.
Gaston thing.
Someone
the wheels in
edited
my
it.
head have been turning since I looked at Looney Tunes.
Since I looked at Looney Tunes, someone edited him to say that. I promised myself Taco Bell, and right now I'm evolving a Pikachu.
And right now I'm evolving a Kakuna.
Wait a minute, they're gonna fight your uncle for this?
Not the bees.
Not the bees.
Oh, Gaston needs to appear in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah.
I think he does, or hasn't he already appeared?
She'd want me when she could have you.
No, he hasn't.
How do you suppose a boss fight like that would play out?
Well, it's just him shooting.
Gaston has a
you.
semi-automatic musket, which is unheard of technology for the time, so he'd probably be quite formidable.
And he has a dagger too.
Technically, it's a blunderbuss, which is prone to misfire.
Yeah, but in the Gaston song, he fired it on a semi-automatic basis, which he should not have been able to do.
Yeah, regardless of whether it's a rifle or a blunderbuss, it's still impressive that it was rapid fire.
Yeah.
Simba, what's he talking about?
You know why that is?
Tell them who's responsible for Mufasa's death.
One of my favourite YouTube credits is when he comes into this castle with Pelican. Now, if you need anything, then go ahead and start!
Mufasa would still be alive. Do you deny it?
No, let's stop fucking smiling.
But it was an accident.
You're in trouble again. But this time, Daddy isn't here to save you. And now everyone knows why.
No, I know I've asked all of this. I know I've asked.
No,
I don't know how many people have asked this, but who do you think would win in a fight between Scar, Shere Khan, and
I remember. This
the
is
ball?
just the way your father looked before he died.
Sid Pete says, Scar's voice actor in this is really hot.
Yes, he is.
Why couldn't they get Jeremy Irons? That would have been amazing.
I
don't know.
I remember watching
It's the same.
I remember watching the behind the scenes of The Lion King and his seeing him in person actually doing the "you're always so clever," goading Simba into going to the elephant graveyard.
Oh, Scar's loving this.
Simba,
Yeah,
you
it's
get Scar.
disgusting.
We'll handle these guys.
That's your nephew, you sick fuck.
I'm off.
I asked.
Yes, that's right. Leave the small cub to fight the handful of hyenas. Yes, that's very kingly.
Or even Jim Cummings. Well, yeah, Jim Cummings makes sense because he did Scar's singing voice.
When Jeremy Irons sort of blew his throat out on the "You Won't Get a Sniff Without Me" line.
Well, according to Jim Cummings, he did the whole song.
Oh.
All
Really?
of them versus it.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, speaking of Ollie, I have actually seen the new It movie.
Right.
I have my issues here and there, but overall it's still fun. I have my issue with the Jewish guy just disappearing every so often.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And just appearing, just happening to appear at some point. And of course, Beth's dad makes everything feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
As he's supposed to do.
Well, the thing is, I can deal with. Well, the thing is, I can deal with her dad in the original when he's just smacking her and going, sometimes I wonder. And he's beating her up for, he's smacking her for, hanging around with boys.
That's
in this one, he's literally.
The original story is true. What story is true, Pete? I'm not sure which one of the two you mean.
The prepared story.
Yeah.
No, it's just that Jim Cummings said he did it.
For a moment there, I thought he was referring to the It films. It's been proven false now, the original story is true.
Why?
Yes, the Tim Curry one will always be better.
They tried to make Pennywise scary.
But yeah, it doesn't work. He's a clown.
Where's Simba?
The thing is,
He went up
they
there.
made him look scary. That's the thing.
I don't think I'll watch the It films, but I have watched Batman Gotham by Gaslight. It had an interesting twist at the end. I don't know if anybody else is planning to watch that.
It's not on my to-do list.
I think, in my opinion, the ending
This
was
is
the
his
only
fight,
part
Donald.
of it which I liked. That's just me.
Jim Cummings said he sang the whole song, but on the behind the scenes of the Blu-ray, there's footage of Jeremy Irons singing it.
Well, to be honest, I don't know. It could be that Jeremy Irons did sing it, but then they got.
You're okay.
They were like, no, not quite. See, it didn't. I think it's because it might be because they felt his singing wasn't strong enough, so they ended up getting like Jim Cummings to do it.
Anger and jealousy turned the king of Pride Rock into a heartless.
That might be it.
Oh, your kingdom's gonna rise again. But this time as the Pride Lands of Darkness.
Well, Scar's death in the film was originally supposed to be Gaston's.
Right.
Yeah, because what happens is that the fight between him and the Beast went through the forest, and as Gaston was trying to deliver the final blow, Belle snuck up behind him, whacks him around the head with a branch, and then he falls off. He falls down like a hill, and then it breaks his leg, and then the wolves from earlier in the film come along and then just eat him.
I think that's how it played out in the stage performance I watched during my second trip to Florida.
Oh.
I hadn't watched the film, so I thought I'd watch something different.
They got Jim Cummings for Pete, so why didn't he play Scar? I don't know, I wasn't... Like, the casting director has made some questionable decisions.
I mean, Brian George as Barbossa.
Yeah.
Way off.
I assume the only reason why they chose him for that is because they couldn't get Jeffrey Rush. I have to assume Jeffrey Rush literally had better things to do.
Well, they got Christopher Lee, so, like, you know, he seems like he should have been a top get.
Yeah.
It's Booker T. Yeah, Booker T has been removed from the announce team.
Well, they've just had a horrible thought.
Booker's been moved to 205 Live.
What if Booker T found himself cast as a voice role in the next game?
Sora, we coming for you, nigga.
Oh god.
I still remember that parody from was it Chavo Guerrero did a Pulp Fiction?
It was him and Eddie Guerrero.
Eddie, that was it.
But yeah, Jonathan Coachman will be replacing Booker T as Booker T's been moved to 205 Live.
Oh no.
Does that mean we won't be able to say the panel of experts and Booker T?
Oh no, he'll still be on the panel of experts, I imagine.
Ollie, I just forgot, I'm looking at the Tokyo Toys website and they've just released some more Dragon Ball Z Pops, or Dragon Ball Super Pop figurines. They've got one of Vegeta in the pink shirt. Bad man Vegeta.
Is that good?
I don't know. It's still Vegeta.
Isn't, according to the lore, Badman is supposed to be like a pop star in that universe?
I don't know.
Because I remember this was like an English translation in the early Dragon Ball comics. Bulma's in the shower, she's singing "My Sexy Batman."
Look, I'm still trying to get over them calling the Super Saiyan Space Warriors.
Oh, that was in the Big Green Dog. We do not speak of it other than to laugh.
I don't speak of it at all.
Probably there's a worse dog than that.
I'm trying to get them calling every single move Kamehameha, regardless of what it does.
Yeah. Well, they treat Kamehameha as if it was a battle cry and not the name of a technique.
I think I recall this Simpsons parody of Goku, and they called his signature attack Krakatoa Blast.
And Excel Saga called it two different things. They called it the Nabehameha and the Chinese soup spoon.
We have to say goodbye for a little while.
And then when the bad guy had two people in the beam struggling against him, he kicks his shoe off and shoots another one from the foot.
He's gonna be so
yeah, that was
busy,
that man.
He'll probably forget about his two best buddies.
Well,
Ironically, you can actually perform the Kamehameha with the feet.
I
Goku
know.
has done it.
Guess so.
But then they ripped off the whole thing from how they defeated Cell by having every character who appeared in Nabashine's flashbacks appear with an afro and all do the same move.
It was also parodied in Fairly Odd Parents.
You can never forget your true buddies.
It's time to make you a new bed of nails!
Yeah. Jorgen von Strangle.
Yeah, it's better than Ollie Remember when you used to name most of your characters Ollie McDeathkill?
Only in
so
Fallout.
Kamehameha, they just shout Miyazaki.
Alright. Decisions, guys. We've still got a lot of time left. We can either go to Halloween Town or we can go back to Twilight Town. Which is where the plot is.
What do we do at Twilight Town?
That's where the plot is.
Well, go for the plot then.
Although I think we're going to have to do Halloween Town eventually.
Yes, eventually, but...
I mean, I'm hoping somewhere along the... I'm hoping not to miss the broadcast where you fight Sephiroth. I want to see how many tries it takes.
Oh, you just don't want to see Sally and Nicole, that's all.
It's Terry you're going to want to look out for in this one.
To be fair, it's Lingering Will.
Halloween Town.
Is that boss I saw who's in the desert who has got the speeder bike thing?
Alright, I will put it to a vote. Who thinks Twilight Town?
Me.
Ian?
Me.
Jack? Sam, what do you think?
I say go to Halloween Town.
And Pete says Halloween Town was a good movie. Pete, should we go to Halloween Town or go to the plot?
No.
Are there vampires
there? No, and that's a good thing because vampires were growing stale during that time period.
There was a video essay by someone called Lindsay Ellis about Twilight recently who said, okay, I think it's time we all shut up about how bad Twilight was. Basically. Stephanie Meyer did not deserve the nuclear levels of shit that was thrown her way.
No, the film franchise did. I can wholeheartedly agree the actors and the actresses should not be punished because of some terrible twists of fate that occurred to them.
Yes, well, she may have wrote a bad book series, but she didn't deserve all the hate.
Pete doesn't seem to vote. I think you've been outvoted, Sam, and we're going to Twilight Town to continue the plot.
Okay.
Pete said, I tried to watch the first Twilight movie and turned it off. Yeah, okay, it was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. I sat there with my friend Charlotte and watched it with her when she came over to visit me once and my leg died. I just wanted to actually die watching the entire thing. It's bad. It is bad. The books are bad, but, you know, there are worse things.
Michael Bay movies aren't any better. Like, his versions of the Transformers films are no better than, like, say, Twilight or something for different reasons, and yet nobody gives him that much crap.
But to be fair, they did kind of give him... He did get crap for
Critics
a while.
Critics occasionally time hit pieces on his work. That's not the same thing as everyone on the internet sort of throwing abuse at you.
It's giant robots or shiny vampires that aren't really vampires.
Well, granted, there are better vampires and there are better stories out there. I mean, hell, I actually own a copy of the parody version Vampires Suck for the reasons of mocking Twilight, but still.
Even that sucks.
Well, yeah, but
it's a Wayans Brothers parody. The bar is very low.
Now, to be fair, Ollie, Scary Movie 1 and 2 was still kind of funny in our childhood, and let's face it, I will always find...
Was that because we were 12 when we saw them, though?
Tim Curry in the second one. I just love Tim Curry as a sexual deviant, and the fact that he doesn't have to wear makeup to do it.
Fair enough.
Come on. Just watching him go, are any of them hot? Just everything he does, or when he thinks he's fucking that woman and then suddenly it turns into one of the Wayne's brothers and he just freaks out. It's just that scream he does when he's on top of him. I think she's starting to suspect something. Who? Your wife. I don't know. Tim Curry just makes things funny. I mean, just look at Home Alone. For more information, look at Home Alone 2 and how he made pizza the funniest word ever. Pizza. Pizza.
We'll take it from
Have
here.
a lovely day. What's the matter? Please find your stolen credit card. And just that face when he hears he was here and he was smooching with my brother, and he's got the face like, did I? No, that was another hotel. I understand the irony here of me being scared off by a clown.
Those toy swords they have in this town.
They're like Nerf swords. I don't know. I think they're made out of Nerf or something. He's scared of fucking Grey, but he's got no problems with Brad.
What is with those things? Why are they turning like clocks?
Also, every time Tim Curry says something in the Home Alone 2 movie, I just add the Tim Curry meter of him making the word better. So a little waha appears in my head.
Which is the weapon here? The one who's holding onto the sword or the sword?
Yeah, speaking of really bad stuff, have you ever heard of Enter Player One?
No.
Ready Player One, you mean?
Yeah.
It looks pretty good in my opinion.
It's Steven Spielberg, like, I mean, if the source material is awful, right?
Yeah.
If Steven Spielberg can make a good movie out of that pile of hot garbage, he truly is the greatest of all time. And I'm not disqualifying him without seeing it. He might be able to do it.
Well, he's making another Indiana Jones movie. But my question is, Ollie, will you do what you did last time and deny the existence of the last one?
Well, that's what the screenwriter's doing.
You deny the existence of what the last time they tried to do a Indiana Jones movie.
What the hell are you talking about? I love The Last Crusade.
My point entirely, you don't remember, you keep ignoring the Crystal Skull.
We don't ignore the Crystal Skull, we just choose to remember better times.
What's this Crystal Skull everyone's talking about?
Well,
this is why I'm doing this.
It's this idea that George Lucas had about for an upcoming Indiana Jones film involving the Crystal Skull, and it had involved aliens or something.
Well, that sounds terrible, and I'm very glad it never happened.
The Crystal Skull is a Yu-Gi-Oh card, Ollie. That's all you need to know.
I remember when we went to CEX and I found a copy of it and I showed it to Ollie and he said I'd made a fake copy. Like one of those bootleg things that Seb keeps finding and paying us in on the bootleg stuff.
By the way, have you seen a man
I talked to the front of me and it turned it off. Oh, lady, if you've ever been on IMDb boards, they bash Michael Bay on there all the time. He's scared of fucking Ray, but he's got no problems with Brad.
Yes.
You're having a fight?
Not a very organized organization.
Don't let your guard down.
Sorry, Pete, I got caught up fighting and ignoring the existence of the movie and didn't notice your last couple of comments.
Gee, thanks for looking out for us, mister. But I'm sure we can take care of ourselves just fine.
Yeah, so the Player One thing, it's based on a book which is described as like a boys' version of Twilight.
I'll be right back.
Twilight for boys.
Is it equally bad?
Yes, except
we remember what it
instead
was
of like a stony-faced female character, you have a stony-faced male character.
We know very well how to injure the heart.
If Steven Spielberg can make a good film out of that, then he truly is the greatest of all time.
Let's jump in
Well, let's get. Well, I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Well, his friend
Maybe
Oscar
he'll
says
lead
he
us to the
can.
organization's world.
I like his old
So you
films
want to end
best.
up like Riku?
His friend Oscar says he can.
Yeah.
That's a bit of an Austin Powers joke, though.
Yeah.
Hey, wait.
No, I like Steven Spielberg. I think he's a great.
What did he mean?
Like, he deserves every accolade he's ever won. But
hey, how about you get out of my town now? You've
I don't
caused.
know,
I
it's
doubt
just that,
even
his
he
late-
can make something good about this.
I know. It's just that his latest films don't have them.
Hold it.
Don't have his usual magic.
This goes
What
to the
have
strongest
his
guy in
latest
Twilight Town.
films been? Like, remind me.
Well, they just feel
Thanks,
like
but
cold and
We don't
unfeeling.
really need it.
Like,
Well, he was going to direct Interstellar, but then Christopher Nolan stepped in. And that's probably
Yeah.
why it wasn't as all it could have been.
yeah,
Nothing against Christopher Nolan, but he makes a specific type of film.
yeah.
Ted's, right?
I mean, because
Do you know a girl named Kyrie?
I like, you know, I like his really old films like
better come to the
E.T. and the
Yeah.
and the Goonies.
Yeah, there's a sincerity to them that it just doesn't seem to have a lot anymore.
Hmm.
And well, that's what I like about Steven Spielberg and also about John Williams. Because John Williams has often told the story he couldn't get arrested in Hollywood until he met Steven Spielberg and George Lucas, because his music was very emotionally sincere, melodic and everything, and at the time nobody was interested in that. They wanted something similar to, say, what ended up being the score for something like Inception, you know, your Hans Zimmer types.
Yeah.
Not that Hans Zimmer can't do emotionally sincere scores, I mean, The Lion King.
And Back to the Future.
Was that Hans Zimmer?
I think so.
Wow!
It's,
I know it
I'm
wasn't very
looking.
popular, but I do like Back to the Future #2.
I like Back to the Future too. I like
I
all
like
of them.
all of them. Yeah.
I think I heard somewhere that the first one was only considered the best one. Or am
Well,
I
the
thinking
first
of The
one
Matrix?
always. I think you might be thinking The Matrix, but I think people generally like all of the Back to the Future movies. I mean, everyone has their favourite, but
In the beginning, I always generalised thinking that sequels were meant to be better because I thought it was the first one was just a bar that the sequel
so
had
how
to
do you
top.
guys know Kyrie?
I didn't understand filler back then.
well, it's not that sequels are always filler, but
Oh, I never said they were always
Kyrie
filler.
was
I was
really
using that as an
here?
example of one of the
Yeah.
reasons
Yeah.
why sequels aren't always better.
She said she was looking for you.
yeah. Well, these days there are a
where
lot
she
of
is.
filler sequels. Yeah.
Well,
What a romantic
Oh,
story.
All things
Unfortunately,
considered,
I heard the news that Chris Hemsworth's
he said he's coming
Marvel
back.
contract is up with Infinity
What took
War,
you so long,
or
Kyle?
with Avengers 4.
Somehow, I just
Unless he
All things
renews it.
considered, I think my favourite Harry
I tell
Potter
you,
film's
Kyrie,
probably got to be Chamber of
You've got a lot
Secrets.
of guts, jumping right into the
It's not-
darkness like that.
Why is that?
I just like the mystery behind it and how everything gets figured out at the end.
Yeah.
Is this
Yeah, I
the moment
suppose
where
that
you're
is
so
pretty good.
close to finding Kyrie and then Axel just dashes all your hopes away?
Let go!
Yes, I think so.
Let go!
That's a
Mine
shame.
too, Jack. I always thought everyone hated the Chamber of Secrets because, like, maybe one important thing happens to the story in that one. I mean, I don't hate it, but I assumed others did. I
Far as I
shared
can
the... Sorry?
As far as I can tell, the only Harry Potter film that could be
You think
considered
it
bad
might have been
is
Axel?
Deathly Hallows Part 1, and only because it's
Sorry.
so cramped with
Hey, it's not your fault. Come on, cheer up.
I'm back.
I say,
Sorry, Jack, I couldn't hear you over that Sam's microphone's happening. What were you saying about
Got
Deathly
it,
Hallows Part
Kyrie.
1?
It's so crammed with filler.
Yeah,
That was close.
like,
I didn't
it
even
didn't
like
need
Dobby
2
films.
films. Deathly Hallows wasn't even the longest book. That was Half-Blood Prince, which, to be fair, was work to get through in whatever medium.
Well, personally, I think Order of the Phoenix was the worst film.
I still think Prisoner of Azkaban is the best one.
I think Prisoner of Azkaban was something which we probably just had to get out the way. I mean, we had to see Dumbledore go one-on-one with Voldemort.
Do you mean Order of the Phoenix?
Yeah.
Don't made a mistake, by the way.
You right?
Sora, are you okay?
Hans Zimmer did not compose Back to the Future.
Ah, I thought it was odd. Who did?
Just a minute. His name is Alan Silvestri.
Oh, Alan Silvestri. He did the Avengers as well.
Yeah. Okay, so Crisis Averted, never mind. So, I say, Order of the Phoenix was the worst film because it just fell out of place.
I thought it did.
At least you're not saying it's because of Harry Potter's attitude towards everything that was going wrong in his life during that episode.
A new road is open, and Kairi and Riku are waiting somewhere along it.
I mean, come on, if you had someone like Dolores Umbridge on your back all the time about everything you're doing, I think you'd be pretty upset.
There's a common picture that makes its rounds online. It's a picture of Dolores Umbridge with the subtitle, "Admit it, you wanted her dead more than Voldemort."
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, I remember watching that trial scene from Order of the Phoenix on YouTube and seeing what was put in the comments. Some guy actually sympathised with Harry Potter.
Yeah. The book Order of the Phoenix was better than the film. This is true.
The young Sora to keep
that's true.
The Heartless.
Oh, that can be acknowledged, I guess.
Actually, I tell a lie, Order of the Phoenix was the longest Harry Potter book.
You also have the power to plant seeds of doubt in one's receptive heart. Sora will soon begin to doubt himself.
I used to predict the ending to the Harry Potter books a long time ago before it was even written.
And that hesitation will turn to anger.
Although it's not to be taken seriously.
That anger will fuel him to get rid of his apprehension.
I figured that Voldemort just gives up.
He will pave the way for the future.
He's like, he's just like, I can't do this anymore. You win. I've ruined my life. I'm gonna reform. And he goes off, and he goes off to be married to his true love, Snape.
When he himself lacks emotion. Trying so hard.
And then Harry Potter's just like frustrated. He's like, "No, you're supposed to fight me. Come on, fight me." No, I've reformed. I give up. You can get on with your life. No, this is not right. And then they're like, "Harry, calm down." He gives up. We've won. No, it can't end this way.
But we're not finished. I'm not finished.
Riku, and now I've lost Kairi again too.
There's a YouTube comment for that trial scene I'm looking at. This guy says, "What Harry should have said, I saved you. I saved this city. And all your worthless lives. I should have let Voldemort kill you all."
I wish they'd release footage of Rick Mailer's peas. Yeah, that would be good.
Toddle's right, Why,
like what the guy hasn't added in the comments was...
So it's all
who was the chap who died at the end of Goblet of Fire?
I didn't mean that.
Cedric.
Just do what comes natural to you.
I did not kill Cedric, but I wish that I had.
Jack Whitehall. Jack Whitehall, who went to school with Robert Pattinson, always harboured a grudge against him, and he said that when he went to see Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, he was the only one in the theatre laughing when Cedric Diggory died.
Well, that can happen. I remember when Sarah Lance died in Arrow, and I laughed. I must admit.
I wish they released footage of Rick Mail as Peeves. I wish they used Rick Mail as Peeves.
Right, we could go to Halloween Town, or we could continue with the plot.
Come on, Halloween Town.
Fair is fair.
How long is Halloween Town going to be for?
I don't know. Tell you what, I'll stay on for long enough to do Halloween Town and continue with the plot.
Alright, that's fine.
However long it takes. We've got to check it out right away. Yeah, right after this level.
Well, I do only have 17 minutes before I got to go to bed. Got work tomorrow. It's your broadcast.
You know, Christmas would have been the perfect time for us to be here in the game.
Why?
Because it's going to be a Christmas-themed level.
Merry Christmas. This is my favorite time of year.
Oh yes, I don't know if you can see, or how clearly you can see the image of me on the thing. But
unfortunately, I can see you quite clearly.
This was the perfect cell keyring I got with Dragon Ball Fighters.
Hold on, I'm just waiting for it to load. Ah, perfect.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's Zero. How have you been, boy?
Is Aunt Aggie there? Oh wait, wrong Halloween Town. Right.
Well, I've got some good news.
What?
In this game, the mayor is reprised by Glenn Shadix.
Glenn Shadix.
Our unofficial member.
Yeah. Yes, Glenn Shadix is an honorary member of this team.
Yeah.
Awarded posthumously, of course.
Of course. His name is Neil. He was named after the first man on the moon.
R.I.P. Glenn Shadix, who was not in Jurassic Park as everyone thinks. No, that wasn't Glenn Shadix.
That was Wayne Knight.
Life finds a way.
And he wasn't in The Borrowers either, as I heard someone else say. That was John Goodman.
Welcome back. And Merry Christmas!
Merry Christmas? Don't you mean Happy Halloween?
Well, we're just rehearsing for Angry Dad, the motion picture. How'd you like to be played by John Goodman? Don't! It's so obvious! It should be Gary Oldman!
Forgive me, I'm in a Christmas mood. You see, I'm running the show again this year, but I need Santa Claus' blessing, so I'm off to Christmas Town.
Dad, I'm no fan of Bart's cartoon, but you have a real problem with anger. I'm just passionate, like all us Greeks.
Aren't these decorations
I didn't fully
wonderful?
get the joke behind that, but I did like the way
This
you
year,
said
Halloween
it.
Town's going to handle Christmas too.
Wait, I can punch you the cat
But
right
first,
now.
We have to visit Sally. She's working on something no self-respecting Santa Claus can do without.
I just
Come
can't
along,
live
I'll show
without
you.
Rageahol.
Halloween Town Christmas.
For some reason, him saying like all us Greeks reminds me of Pop from the League of Gentlemen.
Wanna go check it out?
Call me Pop.
Oh, good lord. Sam, have you managed to see the new ones yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Just Google it. They'll be around. I don't know whether they'll come out on DVD or something. If I find a link, I'll give it you. but
one of my favourites.
But yeah, one of the highlights of the new ones would be Pop.
Yes, you told me Pop makes things a lot more fun.
Yeah. Mr. Chinnery's back as well. Tom's in it.
I feel bad for Mr. Chinnery, the guy who just never save an animal.
You know what character I thought was funny, but I never really got why he was there?
What?
That doctor that has people over for sleepovers to sort of...
Look, honestly, a lot of Season 3 didn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah. Apparently, Heath Shearsmith missed his daughter's birth to be in that sketch.
Imbeciles! Now my experiment is ruined!
Maybe those three should be involved in his next
Sal,
great experiment.
Did you finish it? I want to show my good friends.
I'm sorry, Jack. I need a little bit more time.
Oh. Well, that's all right. Just as long as it's ready for Christmas.
But, Jack...
It's Sally and
I'd best be
Nicole.
off. I've got to go get Sandy Claus
my two
right
favourites.
away. Wonderful to see you again. Goodbye for
In
now.
one body. Well, two bodies.
It wouldn't. Well, it wouldn't be the first time.
When you look, it'll be the last
Please,
time.
I'm afraid something terrible will happen if Jack goes through with this.
You can try that again. Sora?
He's not going to sing Kidnap Mr. Santa Claus, is he?
No.
Are
That's
those
good.
strange-looking fellows in the town square with you?
I'm beginning to think I may have missed something last time I played
You know,
this.
the ones who wanted to spoil
Was ever such a
Halloween
long time
and
ago.
Christmas? What are they called again? Heartless?
They're definitely not with us. But Donald, Goofy, and I can get rid of them for you. And then we can go see Santa.
I must admit, I did like watching Oogie Boogie die
But
in this
first,
film.
the Heartless.
What I don't understand is how Jack Skellington's one-liner managed to make it into top 100 one-liners. Hang on a moment.
What was the line again?
There.
Look, Dad, look. I believe it was, "How dare you treat my friends so shamefully?"
Ah.
I don't know, it just doesn't wow me.
Well,
I know that line from Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged, not from Nightmare Before Christmas. And that's only because it preceded a joke it immediately followed a joke I really liked. Yugi, take my card! And my card! I'm just here for the food! Take my card, Yugi, and my axe!
Jack, where are you?
In one of the deleted scenes, it was revealed that Oogie Boogie was Dr. Finkelstein all along.
Jack!
Right.
We're on it.
Oh, look, it's
Ooh,
bad.
it's Glenn Shadix.
No, it's bad, Maya. You twist his face and there's another one on the opposite side.
Lionel Spaulding and Neil. Okay, I can admit that Dunstan Checks In is not a conventionally good film, but it's a damn fun one.
Yeah. If not for Glenn Shadix.
My dollar.
So yeah, in the deleted scene, it was revealed that Oogie Boogie was Dr. Finkelstein all along.
How does that make any sense?
That was probably why it got cut.
Yeah.
I really think it doesn't make sense, Ollie. I mean, look at that one episode of Malcolm in the Middle where Lois got into that duel with that very obnoxious woman in the parking in a car park.
Yeah.
Absolutely everything about that was senseless. That's what made it so funny.
Yeah.
In the end, they were just driving for a head-on collision, but their cars had been wrecked so badly, they were slowed down to a crawl. And they were still motivated to scream like lunatics. That thing's on YouTube, I was glad to have found it. I just wish they'd put that clown fight on in better quality.
Yeah. Oh, Jack, Sam, are you still there?
Is.
Is it true that Vince has talked about selling WWE to Fox?
Silence.
Yes. He's talked about selling the company off completely, and Fox is the one name that keeps coming up.
You could be of use to me. Come along, all of you. I'll show you the true.
It's not something it's not exactly something you'd expect, but that's what we've been given.
All right, bodyguards. Christmas Town is this way. The doorway is in the woods just past the graveyard.
And while at this point I think a lot of people could probably run the company better than Vince does, because letting one person have the final say over everything isn't exactly a smart idea, I'm not sure how to feel about it.
Me, I've lost my interest. Ollie, why did you just walk under a guillotine? Why did you just walk under a guillotine again? Taking a bath in that acid fountain next.
Get in the acid bath.
I hear the acid is lovely.
The corroder.
Go ahead, Ollie. The green is good for you. It'll give your bones a nice healthy shade. That's so much for the rest of you then.
Pete says,
can't enter.
That's usually the part, Ollie, where you can do your best Mark Hamill voice and say, never.
Yeah.
Oh, and just got some news. Apparently, Asuka will not be challenging for the Raw Women's title.
Which means she's moving over to SmackDown.
Pretty much. They're going to be having Nia Jax at WrestleMania versus Alexa Bliss.
People still
I can work with that.
So yeah, we'll be getting Asuka versus Charlotte.
People still care about what?
Do people still care about the women's title?
The women's division is one of the saving graces of the company at the moment, Jack.
They just had a women's Royal Rumble, which was actually pretty good.
It was great.
Apart from the fact that my one problem, Ollie, is that they got a bunch of women back, most of which who were not very good in their heyday.
And one of them was Vicky Guerrero.
And I found this.
No. Well, my point being, Ollie, unless you've eaten it, was literally that most of these women were not good in their heyday and have been 10 years removed. I mean, it's been a long time since Trish Stratus was there. Vicky Guerrero was just there for a spot.
Trish Stratus did well.
Oh yeah, Molly Holly botched a little bit. Kelly was clearly not really there. Not really. At least she wasn't running, skipping to the ropes.
Kelly was never good.
But she botched her own elimination, so
Oh, she botched so hard.
It was hard to watch. It was horrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, Beth Phoenix was my favourite, special guest appearance.
I remember once I had an opportunity to meet Beth Phoenix.
Nice.
I had an opportunity to meet Christian as well.
Funny, considering that Beth Phoenix is married to Edge.
Pete says the only time he watched wrestling was when Molly Holly had her head shaved.
Yeah, I didn't mention when we were watching it when you and me were watching it today that, wow, she suddenly got her hair back again.
In his workshop.
I didn't have the money for it, so I just took a picture of Christian just to mock Ollie.
Shall we?
We like Christian.
Yeah.
He's good. He's good. It's just, a shame that WWE don't like him because apparently Vince doesn't like his face.
Yeah, that's the only reason he didn't make it bigger than he did.
I thought it was because Vince has a problem with cruiserweights.
No, Vince just... He's technically a light heavyweight, he's not a cruiserweight.
Well, there is also that, but Shawn Michaels was also a cruiserweight. So there are exceptions to that rule.
I would have thought Shawn Michaels was just so popular, Vince couldn't deny him if he wanted to.
Believe it or not, Shawn was never a draw. That's the thing, Shawn
yes,
was
he
never
was,
a draw.
Sam. I know you don't like him,
wasn't.
but you got...
No, I like Shawn, it's just the whole exaggeration that he was actually a draw. The guy couldn't even draw in his own hometown. When he was the WWE champion, he couldn't even fill the arena. They had to give away 3 tickets, and they still couldn't fill the arena. He was a draw. He was a draw in the 2000s, but back in his quote-unquote prime, before he fucked his back up, he was nowhere near the draw that they thought he was.
Yeah, but it didn't matter because he's infuriatingly good at what he did.
Look, I will not deny that. Yeah, 2002 to his retirement, Shawn was a draw. But back when he was still in his main run, when he was, you know, the pill-popping, drug-addicted asshole that, you know, he is no longer is, Shawn was never a draw.
Fair enough.
I mean, when Sid is more popular than you, there's a problem.
Well, what about Sid's voice?
Oh, well, nothing beats Sid's voice. But here's the thing. At least Shawn Michaels was a bigger draw than Kevin Nash ever was.
Or Roman Reigns.
What?
Or Roman Reigns.
That goes without saying.
Yeah, Roman's not enough. But Roman's not the draw they need him to be.
Like, I think the best...
The biggest draw in all of wrestling to this day is still Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Bad happened to Christmas.
I think the best Roman Reigns can hope for, to quote, I can't remember who, but you often quote it, is to be the guy that works with the guy that draws money.
But that's Triple H's entire bit. It's Jim Cornette who said that basically Triple H was never a big star. He was just the guy who worked with the guy who drew the money. He worked with Austin because Austin was the guy who drew all the money. The Rock was always the number 2 of the company, but he was a very distant number 2. Because nobody could draw the money that Austin did. In fact, the only person to come close was Sable, which is depressing when you think about it. I mean, even John Cena and Hulk Hogan to this day have never drew the money that Austin has.
Maybe it's because they didn't threaten the boss with a gun.
Well, it's just that Austin sold loads and loads of fucking t-shirts and merchandise, so it just kind of worked for him.
Nice list.
Pizza, are you sure of that?
I just saw my name on that list. How can that be?
Sora. Here you are.
Yeah, I am... What, about Austin being the top draw? Yeah, I am completely sure about that. John Cena may have sold a lot of t-shirts, but he has not made the money that Austin did. Because keep in mind, wrestling was a bigger thing when Austin was the champion. And then after the Attitude Era, the way the wrestling business was kind of, a lot smaller.
Am I on your list too, by any chance? It's me, Jack.
Jack Skellington?
But yes, The Rock was, only the second guy, really. And Triple H wasn't even a number 2. It was basically a number 3 guy.
It's a long story.
If that. It depends how you want to count Mick Foley.
Mick Foley's just...
Mick
it's impossible to not like Mick Foley.
Oh yeah, Mickles was wonderful.
He did host Robot Wars in America.
And he still sells those sweat socks with a face drawn on for fuckloads of money.
Yeah, I remember you showing us that video long before it became a meme. Yes, thank you, Pete. I showed you the John Cena prank call before it suddenly became a meme.
What, the one where they keep calling that house and it's John Cena announcing SummerSlam?
Yeah. And his name is John Cena.
Why do we have to hide?
Silence. Well, this is a pleasant surprise. That fool Jack brought Sora and the others with him. Now we can deal with all of them at once.
What do you want us to do?
Who's there?
Busted!
Oh, and Ollie, you know how we joke about Curtis Axel being the longest person in the Royal Rumble?
Yeah.
Oh,
Mil Mascaras has been in the Rumble for even longer.
It's lock, shock, and barrel.
Because he was counted as eliminated even though he went under the bottom rope.
Well, whatever the case, they've been quite naughty. Catch them and bring them back here. They're going to get a
And
lecture.
did Randy Savage ever understand what a Royal Rumble was? Because he kept trying to pin people.
Mr. Claus, I wanted to talk to you about Christmas first.
Why would Maleficent want anything to do with Oogie Boogie? I thought he was a bit beneath her, to be honest.
You'd think. Oogie Boogie is a bit
Come on,
stupid,
Jack, let's
you know.
catch those little pranksters.
She just needed, like, more power.
Minions. I mean, you can actually go through this game without going through certain worlds. I mean, I think this is one of the worlds you can just avoid.
Oh, Caravan. That is a Greek mythological name, but I can't remember its etymology. Alright, hold on.
Caraboss is, well, that was the name of the bad fairy in the original Sleeping Beauty.
Also, the fact that Ric Flair is now the KFC Colonel.
Yeah, I mean... He technically, in storyline, came out of retirement to wrestle in that match.
He didn't even do anything, so I guess it doesn't technically break his wrestling rule.
I still remember hearing about that Marvel Comics.
But that's his last ever match now.
I don't remember that.
Not the perfect ending he was given at WrestleMania against Shawn Michaels, but that.
I'm sorry, which match was his last one?
The Colonel one. That is now officially his last ever match.
So far.
I think I prefer the KFC Marvel Comics crossover.
Look, I don't deal with food crossovers when it comes to comics. I already had to deal with Twinkies and Galactus.
Yeah, but KFC.
So screw KFC for that.
Ollie,
well, to be
nice.
Also, Dolph Ziggler turning up. What the hell was the point?
What the hell is the point of Dolph Ziggler in general? So?
Well, he came up, abused the super kick to a stupid degree, and then got eliminated by Finn Balor.
I still remember when John Morrison called him Mr. Ziggles.
Oh god, Ollie, remember when we went to that wrestling show and we actually started a Mr. Ziggles chant?
Yeah. I wonder if anyone will get the reference today.
I doubt it.
I would.
Or when you like shouted abuse at Mickey James.
I think...
Ollie thrives on reminding me of the horrible things I've said at wrestling events.
Well, no, I don't. I was the one that nearly got us chucked out.
To be fair, you actually did an old Ring of Honor chant.
Yeah.
You did Daniel Bryan's "You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in" chant. I was the one who accused JBL of paedophilia and demanded that I think Mickey James have a sandwich because we could see her ribs.
Piggy.
It says green triangles everywhere. # Illuminati confirmed.
Yeah, I seem to remember screaming. I seem to remember screaming, "For God's sake, get him a fucking sandwich!"
I was so looking forward to.
And who did you call a cheating whore? Was it Candice Michelle?
It was Candice Michelle that I called a cheating whore.
Revenge before pleasure, after all.
And I chanted chants of "Kill Batista."
Yes, I joined you in those. We were cheering for the bad guys all night.
That sounds really bad.
Ollie, how many wrestling events have you been with me to?
2, I think.
That bag of incensed
I think it's 3 if you count the local one.
Oh yeah, 3.
How intriguing.
And how many times have I ever cheered for the good guys? I mean, remember when we went to see the other one, and then that Italian guy was like, "I remember you. You were saying kill the Italian." But I was playing a heel.
I believe I'll bring your
I think they understood.
for you.
Yeah. Pete wants to know who played Maleficent in this.
Her name is Susan Blakesley, and she did the voice of Wanda in Fairly Odd Parents.
Ah.
Which is kind of cool.
Yeah, so I kind of misbehave at wrestling events sometimes. Though to be fair, I did at that one show. I did cheer for. I remember that. I think I cheered for BC Steel, and then the guy was announcing, are you happy that such and such won? And like, yeah, good. Are you happy BC Steel won? And I was like, yeah. Well, of course you cheer. You're drunk.
Do you ever wonder what would happen if the wrestlers you gave those chants for actually heard you?
They did hear me. Believe me. We got to meet some of the wrestlers after the show, and I think we spoke to Big Paulie, and he kind of took offence to me saying "kill the Italian" at Johnny Thunder. No, I explained, I just cheer for the heels, it's kind of what I do, and I think he kind of accepted that. But you, Ollie, are the guy who said, if you ever need heel heat, you can always throw me down the stairs.
Or you can spit on him while he's in the disabled
like a million bugs.
I nearly did that.
Or you could take his chair and then mock him with it.
For this, Maleficent.
I have taken his chair in the past, but I haven't mocked him with it. I have, however, commented that it is actually surprisingly comfortable.
Oh yeah, I've stolen his chair and used it for my own nefarious beings, needs.
What was it
I wouldn't say nefarious, I just wanted to sit down so badly.
I just wanted to get things cheap and sometimes getting places for free.
Even worse.
They creamed you.
That's right. That's right.
The only thing I did that was remotely that nefarious was telling Andrew Blatchford I was going to send his guide to the Chinese.
And it's the only thing I'll remember until I teach those clowns not to mess with Mr. Oogie Boogie.
Yes, that's right.
Then he'd have to have something like a seeing eye gopher.
And I have
fairness,
the
I didn't
perfect
start
plan
that joke,
already in mind.
I liked using it.
Have you ever heard of Christmas Town?
Mr. Oogie, wake up! Wake up! We want to see
You
how
should see the
bad
look
you
on
are.
people's faces when I tell them I used to do that. Oh,
It seems he needs more time to recover.
It's okay, I always told my mother-in-law and
Stay here
my
and
wife
keep
the
Sora
things
and
I'd
the others
done.
occupied.
And my mother-in-law was pissing herself laughing. I think that was like when I was over at my in-laws. I think Ian was part of the conversation as well when he was regaling them with stories of the things I've done to him.
Stop them! Tie them down!
Yes, Angelina Jolie was a very good Maleficent.
I hate that movie.
I actually don't mind it.
I liked it at the time. I've sort of lost enthusiasm for it since then.
They just turned one of the greatest villains into like a sympathetic character.
Yeah, I appreciated that they managed to do that, but apparently they were going to do the same thing with a Cruella de Vil movie with Emma Stone. Yeah, I thought, well, with Maleficent you can sort of see why they'd go for the untold story from her side, I think. But Cruella de Vil, her entire character is rich bitch who kills puppies for fashion. It's like, how do you make that sympathetic?
What's next? Another Moonthorn?
A dog ate her mother as a child, and this is a chance for revenge.
That's still not making. That's still wouldn't be sympathetic.
You know they're doing.
Okay, but they're not Dalmatians; they're pit bulls.
Saying that Joffrey was angry with all the children born out of wedlock because he was beaten up by thousands of them when he was younger. Which of course
it was beaten up by a river, bastards.
Ooh. More information about the Dumbo movie.
Yeah.
It's not going to have any.
Yeah, apart from the fact that it's the movie I used to make my sister cry.
It's not going to have any talking animals in it.
Oh.
It's going to have animals in it, but
Bambi without any talking.
But the majority of the characters are going to be human.
Well, a little decent 101 Dalmatians live action film without any talking animals.
But basically, it's just about a family who rescue a baby elephant.
Okay.
And that's the Dumbo movie.
Oh, Sauron and Flash Step.
Oh, good. He's turned into a Bleach character.
What an awful, awful show.
Ollie, now this means that when you go into your Valor form, you can just go Bankai.
Ooh.
Or depending on how your voice is on that day, you can just go Kamehameha.
Oh god.
Just remember, they're releasing they're re-releasing the old movies just very frequently.
On the Blu-ray.
Yeah, they're doing.
I know. I recently did see both Cooler movies on a double disc Blu-ray and the BoJack Unbound movie.
Yeah.
And the Super Android 13.
Yeah. Screw Cooler Returns.
Oh, this is utter foolishness. I should be getting ready for
Shock and Barrel, tied them up in a sack and beat them with a stick regularly.
Yes, but please call me Santa Claus.
Of course. Mr. Santa Claus, I was hoping I'd find you here. You see, it's very important.
You can trust her. She's Princess Sally Hinkle.
Terrible is going to happen
And Nicole.
And Nicole Ruling.
I am behind on my
Pete says, oh, this is utter bullshit.
All right. Tell Jack I'll be waiting for him at home. He had something to say to me about Christmas.
But that's just it. Please, go home and lock the door. And if Jack knocks, don't open it.
There.
I had a friend in junior school who had a habit of saying I'm allergic to bull every time I said something he didn't agree with.
That's right. Lock him up at once. Then begin
I
destroying
used to vandalise his
Christmas
name a
Town.
lot.
That's sure to make Sora and the other fools come running.
And then they're all mine.
Yes.
I'm already home, Pete.
And in the meantime, I'll turn Santa
Jack,
Claus
Santa
into Santa Heartless.
If Santa
That's
comes
not
to
even
my
a pun.
Are we done?
If Santa comes to my house without authorization, I'm going to shoot him with an air rifle. That has got to be the most botched kidnapping I've ever seen. I'm just going to run at you and you're just not going to move.
Come on, Jack, let's hurry.
Not you. Jack, you're a bony bastard.
Things like, the fuck is in the air, the fuck, there's white shit everywhere.
This point, I had another character named Jack Skellington.
Jack Skellington.
Gained a bit of weight, but I believe he was shorted.
Yeah, I'm sadly gaining way too much weight.
Well, this wouldn't be a problem if you just become a professional wrestler and then you maintain a bigger out necessity.
And I'd also have torn ligaments.
Sorry?
Didn't you say if I become a professional wrestler?
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'd still have torn ligaments. And you know, it depends where I worked.
Yeah.
Also, is there a scenario?
See, if I was a professional wrestler, I assure you that working for WWE would not be something I'd want to do.
Makes perfect sense to me. I think people who work for WWE don't want to work for WWE.
I think I'd stick to the UK wrestling scene because it's blown up lately. Ow.
My aim would actually be New Japan. But I'd work my way up there from, you know, working through the UK scene and probably Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Probably Pro Wrestling Guerrilla.
Wrestling Guerrillas. I remember watching the Simpsons episode related to Gorillas, and practically an entire roster with named Gorilla something.
Or, and this is a better idea, maybe I'll work for DDT where I can win the world title from a blow-up doll.
Grandpa Simpson was a hero.
You remember that thing I showed you, Ollie, with Kota Ibushi? I think it was Kota Ibushi versus Yoshihiko, the blow-up doll.
It was Kenny Omega, actually.
Oh, it's Kenny... Because I remember the Kenny Omega versus the 9-year-old girl. That was actually kind of fucked up. That 9-year-old was actually pretty damn good.
What do you say to a person who says you are the luckiest person in the world, you get to look at me?
Did someone say that to you?
No, Grandpa Simpson did when he was wrestling for me.
Because it's a heel tactic to have arrogance.
People hate you.
Yeah, but that's the whole thing. Arrogant heels decide that, you know, people don't really hate them, they're just jealous of them.
Yeah, what do you say to someone who actually says that to you?
No one actually says that to anyone. At least not unironically.
Something's not quite right. I know what it is. We just need a little more of that boogie flair.
I do hope our jolly old friend is looking forward to becoming a heartless.
They're trying to make Santa evil.
Clumsy oaf.
Isn't he already evil if you take into account the whole, you know, American Dad Santa thing?
He was brainwashed and turned evil.
Have you already forgotten who brought you
or
back?
better yet, what about Krampus?
Sorry, can't remember a thing.
Sorry?
Very well, you ingrate. You'll rue the day you spurned my help.
Him said in the first moments of that episode, "Hey, Dirtbuster, Dirt, you're the spoiler of holidays."
Oh god, I loved Earthworm Jim.
Didn't we?
And Professor Monkeyhead. And Psychro.
Queen Slugbutt.
Yes, Queen Slug for a butt.
Princess
what's her name? Peter Puppy.
Evil the cat.
Remember
Don't forget Harass the dog. With the fleas of eternal death.
I think it was Malice the dog.
Huh. I might have got a weird translation or something, because I remember it being something. I think it was Harass the dog or something. I remember Evil the cat would spit out some kind of acidic hairballs.
I remember in the first episode where he tried to kill that young child. And he said,
and what about Bob the Gold? What about Bob the Goldfish?
Oh yeah.
So sweet, so guile, so pure and good.
And what about the evil version of Earthworm Jim?
Evil Jim. Ian already pointed him out.
Evil Jim and his evil versions of everything. And how he was defeated by an evil cow.
Not exactly. I remember how his evil ray was turned on the villains and they created good versions.
Yeah, I remember there was a thing where he made evil versions of Princess What's-Her-Name and Peter Puppy.
Hi, I'm Good the cat. Will you be my friend? Unlikely. I shall, however, destroy you with an acid furball. Then I shall neutralize it with an antacid furball.
I just remember Evil Jim crying in a prison cell. I just wanted someone to share my milk with. Well, how about you have an evil cow and they drop a cow on him? I know, the cow was the joke. I also remember when they replaced Peter Puppy with Earthworm Jim with Peter Puppy. And it just so happened to be the episode where where Jim couldn't hear anything because he's a worm, and Peter can because he's a dog. And where the episode where the animator kept running out of colouring. So Evil the cat thought he'd made a song that was so evil it had destroyed the universe, when really the artist had just run out of coloured ink.
Pete says it's worse than that, he's dead, Jim.
Newsflash. Cost of cartoons skyrocket. Producers seek cheap substitutes for huge action sequences. What a huge action sequence. I never thought we'd survive.
Or they could just do what everyone else does and just reuse animation. Also, Ollie, what the hell is with the Tournament of Power with Toppo being a god of destruction?
Have a score to settle, Jack. Same goes for your little sidekick.
You haven't seen the latest Dragon Ball Super?
No, I've seen it, but what was your question?
Why is Toppo suddenly a god of destruction?
He was already being considered for one, but hadn't made up his mind because, deciding to accept the role of God of Destruction would mean that he wouldn't be allowed to help people anymore. He was a pride trooper, he's all about justice and preserving the universe, which isn't really something a God of Destruction.
And now he's basically beating up Frieza.
Oh, he owned Frieza's ass.
Oh yeah, I saw the thing of him literally punching the... Does Frieza bleed, or does he just only have saliva?
I think that's everyone now. Now that they've toned down the blood and what have you for Super because it's on a more child-friendly time slot in Japan.
Right. So, I'm guessing Toppo isn't going to be defeated before the time limit's up.
Well, I think Vegeta's gonna take a crack at him next week.
But then that means that Goku would have to overcome Jiren on his own.
Yeah. Well, it's basically down to just them now, because Gohan sort of bit the bullet to eliminate Dispo.
So is Frieza eliminated, or...?
No, he's still in there, he's just unconscious at the moment. 17 managed to just about save him by...
Let's get down to business to control the world.
Said I don't think I'm ready. Shaw.
You know.
We can still talk about Kingdom Hearts anymore.
Sorry?
Do we even still talk about Kingdom Hearts anymore?
Well, we're in mid-boss fight here, there's not much to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Oh, right.
Yes, if I were with I suppose it pains you to say this, Holly. I'm going to say 200 pipski to your stupid face. Any minute now. Oh, apparently Brock Lesnar did legitimately punch Braun in the middle of that match.
Oh, yeah, it looked bloody authentic.
Yeah, apparently because Braun Strowman legitimately stiffed him in the face with his knee.
Right.
So Brock responded by legitimately shoe punching him.
Well, that's not very professional, is it?
Oh, can we just discuss the fact that Jinder Mahal was defeated by Pancake Buckles?
Yeah.
And I'm going to call it that forever now.
And I would expect you to.
Come on, he was defeated by Pancakes, it's brilliant.
He wasn't defeated by Pancakes. He was, Pancakes were rubbing in the defeat.
Let's see, Pancakes was the reason Kofi Kingston wasn't eliminated.
Yeah.
And he was shoved in his face. Also, I did check, and it is possible that Heath Slater has broken Santino's record. It is possible.
What, you mean Sheamus?
Yeah, well, you know what I mean. That Heath Slater may have caused the fastest elimination, but Sheamus may have broken Santino Marella's record. Jim Cornette's opinion on Enzo Amore. He's a fucking idiot. That's literally it.
Hello, Sabrina. Hello, Victor. Oh, right, yeah. He's finished your Red Dwarf quotes out.
Ah. He really needs to see season 12.
Boss fight done.
Well, that's Boogie Boogie done.
Huh?
How many times are you supposed to die?
My ghoul! My precious ghoul! I've not seen season 11 yet.
Oh, you really need to get round to watching them. Season 12 is easily my favourite for now. That may be because it's recent, but I think considering how long they were on hiatus, how long it was since, you know, they were on a regular, you know, season thing.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I'd better get down to business.
It's still pretty damn good.
Yup, you ought to stick to Halloween and spooky stuff.
I do like why Rimmer I do like Rimmer's reasoning for why he doesn't like Shakespeare.
Yeah, he's got a skullet.
Wonderful. Why,
and also I love how he crashes and he just pulls that face.
Do you really have to do this?
But I make a splendid Santa Claus.
Listen here, Jack Skellington. You saved me in Christmas as well, and for that I'm very grateful. But please promise you won't cause any more trouble.
I like that they refuse to explain how Rimmer apparently saved Red Dwarf at the end of season 8.
Yeah.
I just thought you could use
they never truly explain how he did it, but he takes all the credit for it.
Gazpacho soup. Chance to get this Christmas thing right.
Yes, being Santa Claus can be tiring. But let me tell you something, Jack.
Before
Seeing
anyone
the
says
happy
anything
faces
else,
of little
I'd just
children
like
when
to
they
say a
discover the
few words.
presents I've brought them makes it all worthwhile.
I didn't like the
Year
overextended
after
cast
year after
of season 8. I just kind of preferred it when it was just Lister,
Jack,
Rimmer, Crichton,
you love to
and
make them
Cat,
gasp and see them
and
shiver with fright.
Holly.
What if someone
And
tried
I
to
do
take
think it's
all of
annoying that in
away
season
from
12 Holly is only there for 5 minutes.
We both have very important jobs to do, Jack. Mine is to take care of Christmas, and yours is to take care of Halloween. So we each have to do the very best we can. After all, you're the face of Halloween, Mr. Jack Skellington, the Pumpkin King, the Knight of Nightmares. And even though you're fascinated with Christmas, Jack, Halloween is your true
Let's go kill something! Yeah!
rely on both of us to do our job.
Kill crazy.
Needs your attention, and I know Christmas needs mine.
Man, beans up in
You're
Bear
right.
Strangler.
I
with
am
his
the
hat,
master
see
of
the
terror.
light brave,
And if Halloween
nice.
has become too routine,
Which
all
are
I have
you,
to do is
boy?
think of something new that'll really make them scream.
Jack! Oh, Jack!
Glenn Shadex.
I've been looking for you everywhere. We must go over the plans for next Halloween. I can't do a thing without your approval.
So true.
Good luck, Jack Skellington.
Sorry, what were the choices again?
Well, there he goes.
Yes, and I've got lots of names to check and
Here,
preparations
here's my
to finish.
that pays for the hat. What about the insult?
Okay, you're a fat bearded. I forget the insult. You're a fat bearded git with.
You forget, Lister. I'm Dangerous Dan Lagoon, built his final sporting men. Marvelous. Oh.
You couldn't even hear the insult over the audience.
We better get going.
Before you do, Sora, I believe there's a friend of yours who, if I recall correctly, was the one who told you there's no such thing as Santa Claus.
Oh, yeah. He did say that.
Are we going
Be
after
sure to
this?
give him my very best
Okay.
wishes.
I will, but
I'm not really sure where
do
we
you
go
know where I
after
can
this.
find
But
Riku?
I'm pretty sure the ship will know.
No.
Hollow Bastion.
But don't
That's
give
where
up.
the plot is.
Remember, if you
It's
believe
a Hollow
in
Bastion.
Riku, you will find him. Just as you found
I will find him!
Right.
Can't. No, I didn't hear that one. Try doing it in a sillier voice and a bit louder. I will find him. There we go. Now you won't.
Oh, looks like a new tournament's been unlocked.
But will you do it?
Well, I think it's time to go to the plot. I've seen westerns. I know how to speak cowboy. Leave the talking to me.
Do you think?
Looks like there's more Heartless now.
Dry white wine and Perrier, please.
Let's go check in with everyone.
I think they're at Merlin's.
Yeah.
Bring it on. Remember, what westerns have you seen? Butch Accountants and the Yuppie Kid. Kuroda.
Oh, Cloud!
Is everybody remember Gib?
I'll get him. This time, we settle it. Me and the one who embodies all the darkness in me.
That's how we should make Leondar's brother. Basically just a Cloud.
It's his fault.
Whose?
Sephiroth. Tell me if you see him.
Okay, what's he look like?
Silver hair. Carries a long sword.
Sure.
So was his appearance in Kingdom
seen it,
Hearts
Cloud.
1 basically non-canon?
Be careful. He messes with your head.
Yeah.
Makes you think
Because
darkness is the only way.
Cloud is describing what he looks like.
Something wrong?
Yeah, the fight was optional, but we're basically deciding that it was never, it was non-canon.
It's
So
nothing.
Lance Bass Sephiroth does not exist.
I don't want you involved.
Nope.
Apparently not.
Well, we all know who it is.
You
Oh,
mean
God.
you don't want me there when you go away
Aerith.
again?
It's Mina Savari, Aerith.
Listen. Even if I go far away,
The chick from American
Do you
Beauty.
mean it?
I prefer American Psycho.
See? You don't look so sure.
Performance is so
Well-
wooden.
Okay, I understand.
No,
get
and
things
if he wants to go, around killing,
No matter how far away
listening
you
to
are.
it to be square while killing people.
Once
that's
you
his
find
thing.
your light,
Yeah.
I'm sure
And
we'll be
American
back
Pie,
here
there's
again,
Pete.
right?
I suppose.
So I'll stay here, and I'll cheer for you.
I didn't know until embarrassingly recently that song wasn't about the film of the same name or had anything to do with it.
Really?
Yeah.
Wonder if he'll be
Well, I
okay.
hadn't really heard it
He'll be
beyond
fine.
the chorus, so...
I'm sure there's some light in him
I've
somewhere.
heard that Weird Al parody. Oh.
You're right.
The Saga Begins. That's one of my favourite parody songs of all time. And if I ever did the Star Wars musical I have conceptualised, that was going to be the opening number. Because there's no way you're going to fit 6 films into a musical one time without glossing over one of them. At least.
I don't really care much for parody songs, but it's hard for me not to like that because he brings up some good points.
He's incredibly well written.
Because it's Weird Al.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's over.
I really gotta get around to writing spot on so we can do the hand loaded and stuff. He's dead. He's fine. His leg is over there.
He's clearly
yes, I
been
am
dead for a long time.
Yes, I'm still going to keep the whole thing where he has a family of possums living in his chest cavity. He's clearly dead. He's lying down, he's sleeping, he's fine. They just remove his shirt and the family of possums get out. I don't know how to explain that. Explain this. Give me a few minutes, I'll think of something.
He thinks he's still alive. Why did he ask these flies begging around him? It's like,
I've gone completely the wrong way.
Yeah, so yeah, the Hank Logan thing, he's going to die at the beginning of his own match.
I think I'm about to have a cardiac arrest.
Well, no, there's going to be a thing where he gets in the ring and suddenly it looks okay. He's fighting someone who's much smaller than him, and then as the bell rings, his heart stops and he just falls forward, and because of his increased frame, he just falls and crushes the guy.
And they count the pin.
Yeah, they count the pin, but then the announcer's like, this must be his new finisher. I mean, we know his leg's been injured for a while. He's literally just fallen on top of them. What a simple maneuver.
What a maneuver!
And yet effective. Look, it's one hit. It's helps him defend his title. So he's really playing the part. What do you think he calls the move? And then they're just going to make some references to, like, I don't know, the rigor mortis slam. Like a really ironic, really, you know, telling things. He's playing the part, alright. He's not moving. I don't know, maybe he got so bored of the match he fell asleep. And then
You've only got to look at them, they've got less meat on them than a chicken McNugget.
You're that sure they're dead? Yes! What about this one? Well, what am I to do? I think the first thing we should do is bury them.
There's a simple test. Alright, girls, hands up those of you who are alive.
Hey, it's Katara.
That just makes me think about the Top Gear police car challenge, when Jeremy's taking care of the wounded at a crash site and all does is just shut the mannequins off the road.
Yeah, but I am thinking of making it, removing the Hulk Hogan reference, from Hank Logan, and just calling him something like the Formidable Hank.
No, Hank Logan is the pun.
I suppose I've been trying to make it not too damn obvious.
No,
but
that's not too obvious. Well, it is obvious, but it's not the bad kind of obvious.
Okay, so you think it's okay?
I think it's okay.
Okay.
Like, if he's a parody of Hulk Hogan, it should be obvious that he's a parody of Hulk Hogan. So calling him Hank Logan is...
Okay, so should he look the same, like the handlebar mustache, balding, and, extremely big muscles?
Should he call himself a real American?
I think he should have similar attire.
So
and yeah, maybe the handlebar mustache.
80s Hulk Hogan or Hollywood Hulk Hogan. So we're going trunks or tights here.
Trunks.
Okay, so we're going classic 80s Hogan in his prime.
You've got to remember there isn't a lot of subtlety in wrestling.
I know. I'm just trying. I'm maybe thinking too hard.
Yeah. Wrestling is not a subtle thing.
I know this was originally our project. Something we came up with that we thought would be funny. And I think Hank Logan was kind of an idea I had as a kid for something like. And for the next match, Hank Logan versus the Ultimate Fatso. As a parody of King Kong Bundy versus Hulk Hogan.
I once made a parody of Ultimate Warrior called The Ultimate Weirdo.
Remember there's a comic where he sodomized Santa Claus?
Oh yeah.
Pizza's the Formidable Prescott Hulk.
I forgot about the Formidable Prescott.
But we can't laugh at politicians anymore. They're too cartoonishly evil.
Yeah, unless we do a cartoon where for some reason Theresa May has a bigger nose and more, wrinkly neck while wearing some supervillain outfit and is...
Well, I thought, Skeletor was about half as evil and twice as competent.
I just don't find them funny anymore.
I'm not nice.
Where are we going? Oh right, okay. Cutscene trigger.
Excuse me, are you with the Restoration
Where
Committee?
we are going, Ollie? We are all going
And I just want to make it a point that while it would be fun to focus on Hank Logan, he's only one small joke. He's not the
it's
focus
best
of
not
the
to
entire
overuse
show.
it. It's best not to overuse the joke.
He's not the focus of the project. He's just like it's kind of like a changing of the guard thing. Like he was the major star, but now he's dead, and now they're replacing him. But I'm going to make the whole explaining the situation of what they need a new person to replace Hank extremely, you know, with that council thing I was talking about, where they just bring the dead person in. Like, he's dead. No, he isn't.
So sorry
And then
about
I am going for a Monty Python-esque thing where he's just like denying he's dead and trying to prove he's alive by like getting a stick and moving his hand.
This man has ceased to be. He is passed on.
Well, what he's going to do is going to have one of those like reaching, like, grabbing claw things that you use to pick up litter, and just grab Hank's hand and move it up. And go, see, he waved. You are clearly holding his hand. No, I'm not.
Pete, it's Riku. You recognised her. Unfortunately, it's the 10-2 versions of those characters.
But it's still Tara Strong.
Yeah, it is still Tara Strong. And that is worth something. Oh, this is the part where... Oh, right, yeah. I like this part. Sorry, Jack, I couldn't hear you over the battle. What was that?
In the next show on them, I think they want me to do an impression of Basil Fawlty.
Impression of Basil Fawlty. Oh, hooray, the cat lives!
Right, I'm gonna give you a damn good thrashing!
Whatever you do, don't mention the war!
Who won the bloody war, anyone?
Oh, look who I am!
This is...
You started. You started it. No, you started it. You invaded Poland.
Oh, bastard!
Look, there's this woman. She's completely stupid, and her husband is in a bomber over Berlin.
I like that the Germans people apparently really took it well.
They did, yeah. I mean, apparently when John Cleese was in Germany one time, someone actually said to him, "Hey, John, don't mention the war, eh?"
Yeah. Also, remember the Major and the fact they have to censor everything when they put... most of the things he says when they put him on television. You know the scene.
Yeah, I know. Oh, it's uncomfortable now.
It is uncomfortable now. But then, did you hear about those people who watch Only Fools and Horses, and they're saying it's an extremely horrible racist television show?
Well, it kind of is.
Is it?
I mean, like, you could say things back then and not get in trouble that just aren't okay anymore. And, you know, they should, to be fair, they should never have been okay to begin with, but the fact is they were once considered such.
That's the thing. I know people say, oh, you know, these people can change things, but
they're saying the same thing about Friends, but you see, Friends was shit even in its time.
Oh yeah, it was. But the thing is, you got to remember when people say, well, they're from a different time. I know some people say that doesn't hold up, but in some cases, it's unfortunately is just kind of how some people were raised.
Yeah.
I mean, I think they did a thing on Scrubs when they did a thing where they got Dr. Cox, Dr. Calso, and that one surgeon, and that one Dominican nurse got them in this sensitivity training class thing, and Dr. Cox pretty much explained things and goes, "Have you seen Dr. Calso? Do you know how long he's been working here? He's literally a product of a different time." And it goes back to when he actually had hair and he'd slap all the nurses on the ass, and it was acceptable behaviour. And he goes, and this poor miscreant, dear God, I can't imagine what his childhood was like. So do you understand now how horrible and pointless this entire thing is?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, some people do still say things. Some things were acceptable, and, you know, morality is subjective.
Yeah.
Certain things were okay, were not. Yeah, it's okay to acknowledge these things aren't okay now. I mean, look at the way wrestling's different now. There are certain things now that were okay in the 70s and 60s that are now, considered brutal and just completely cruel by today's standards.
Well, they had someone blacking up on TV as late as the 90s in WWE, so I don't think wrestling is the bar by which you should judge cultural progress.
No. I'm just saying as an example that it is a thing where some things were okay at one point in wrestling and culture, like the way they used to train people. I mean, that was the whole issue some people had with the Build 'Em Up thing, that the way he was training people was a practice that was okay.
Little Britain had Matt Lucas blacking up all the time, and I was like, that was pretty recent. That is a good point, Pete. Little Britain did do it.
Yeah, but Little Britain was a absolute mess when you go back and look at it. It is hard to believe that thing was a big thing for so long.
Yeah.
It was one joke played out as long as you could possibly. Yeah.
I mean, at least Little Britain stuff. I mean, let's face it, the only blackface that apparently is okay is, Papa Lazarus, and that's probably only because he starts colouring over the black paint.
Well, I think there's a reason he's not in the new League of Gentlemen thing for much of it. I don't.
Well, he wasn't even. The thing was, he was on the cover of the movie, and he's barely in that.
Yeah.
And the reason Tubbs and Edward and even Papa Lazarus gave in that movie is they're not really useful for doing anything, because the story was serious. They were trying to find the original creators and get them to continue Royston Vasey, otherwise the characters would die. And said they couldn't do it because when they tried to do it, they accidentally killed one of the creators. And they said the problem is we're some of the more bizarre characters, and then Papa Lazarus then vomits something that's just weird. Like, it's not anything, it's like a giant hairball. Yeah, Tubbs and Edward accidentally killed one of the original writers.
Yeah.
Going somewhere local. You people aren't real. We're real now, Dave. And then the guy falls off a cliff. Oh, and Rowan Atkins, I think... No, it wasn't. It was Alan Rickman accidentally shoots one of them. Well, he gave a gun to a blind man. And then the blind guy shot him and was like, "Oh, give that to me, you sightless shit."
I
don't know, something... I just love Alan Rickman just being mean to a blind person.
Yeah.
Give me that gun, you sightless shit. Insert that into Harry Potter and see how far that goes.
Alan Rickman could have made anything work.
Ollie, no, seriously, just imagine Snape being mean to a Hogwarts student that was blind. Give that to me, you sightless shit. Although he does die in the most anticlimactic way possible. Jeff stabs him and goes, "You are FCKED fucked. You bitch." And then just falls down and dies.
Here we are.
The rest of his life.
You, sir, are the devil himself. No, this is the devil. But you'll find that his methods are now my own.
Handsome.
Yeah, Snape keeps the devil in on a plate somewhere.
Master Key!
Hello?
Hey, you!
Please don't kill Mark Gatiss. I've just seen a picture of Jeff begging someone not to kill Mark Gatiss.
Have any of you seen a guy with spiky hair?
It's Tifa!
Spiky hair.
The liar.
Yeah.
I'll just take a look around.
Sid, is that you? Yes, and my voice is here too.
Yeah.
Do you ever think Clara just has his hair spiky so that Tifa will notice him, just
Sorry to
because
bother
Cloud
you.
has his hair spiky?
Well, no, because Sora's had spiky hair for a while, so we can easily assume it was just a fashion choice.
And this is the first time he's met her.
So you made it.
Yeah.
Leon!
And he's calling her ma'am, and they're not pouring booze for her.
What do you think this is? A place of business?
Leon!
She's the bartender.
I'm miserable.
Oh yes. In this, he's voiced by Jin from Bleach.
Oh, so he's voiced by a filler character. You'll see. Let's not just hide you over. Oh yeah, isn't this where we get the Tron world?
This is it.
Yeah.
Where's Kairi? Where's
Has
Riku?
anybody seen the movie Tron? No. Oh,
Easy.
yes.
You want to break it?
Oh, sorry. Guess I got a little carried away.
Wow!
Huh?
It's Stitch.
Yep, voiced by his original actor.
Man, Stitch.
Attention current user. This is a warning. Further misuse of this terminal will result in immediate defensive action.
Who's there?
I am the Master Control Program.
Where are you?
Only Donald Duck could jump onto a keyboard and pick the right keys for the password.
Donald Duck is played by Chris Chan.
You are now under arrest.
Arrest?
Run!
Oh no, they got sucked into Facebook.
Oh god, what
You're becoming quite difficult, user. You're not supposed to win the game of Boggle.
I'm also better than you. I hated the music for this zone.
Yeah.
So
Beep boop.
Go on, show him who's boss. Who are you?
I am Commander Sark.
A heartless commander?
Observe.
Okay, you're the boss. I get it.
I suppose that's technically true. Who doesn't?
So we're not friends? Fuck off, Dad.
Commander Sark, voiced by Corey Burson.
Pete, God's sake, poke Grandma.
Not the original actor.
Man, what kind of world is this anyway?
You're inside a mainframe computer system.
A what system?
A computer system for processing data. This system is a copy of one created by a corporation called Encom. The original program was destroyed.
Yes, it is David Warner's
This
character.
copy was acquired by another user. The new user updated and customized the programs, renaming the
played
system
by his
Hollow
original
Bastion
actor.
OS.
Wow.
He used the system for town maintenance and to advance his private research.
Considering how old that movie is, yeah.
My name is Tron. I'm a
He came back
security
for the
programmer,
sequel.
but now I'm under arrest. So
It's
is
just
you.
too bad that Dream Drop
you guys get
Dissidence's
any of
Tron kind of sucked.
Gorge! You know, maybe we should just introduce ourselves.
I'm Sora.
And I'm Donald. Nice to meet you, Tron. Well, I'm Goofy.
With that configuration, you must be users.
Users?
You'd better get out of here quickly. Who knows what the MCP will do to you?
MCP?
The Master Control Program.
The users are losers.
It controls the whole system. If you idle here, you will be derezzed.
So, how do we get out of here?
Users of drugs?
This terminal could have gotten you back to the user world. But the MCP cut the power 50 microcycles ago. If we could bring the energy core in the canyon online, we could power it back up. The problem is, we're stuck in this cell.
Gotta have
we're not going anywhere unless we unlock the energy fields.
All the gangs, all the drugs. Oh yeah, drugs. Gotta have drugs. Homer goes into a burlesque house and literally forgets everything he ever knew or thought was right. Good night, Pete.
Good night.
Good night, Pete.
To be fair, it has been 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Should we call it a stream here?
Yeah, because Tron's going to take a long time.
It is, and I've got to be up in the morning.
Alright, fair
I've got to
enough.
meet a guy about a thing.
Okay, well I'll just...
There we go, I'll get some of the room to talk to you about.
Well.
Right. Okay.
Must.
Alright, yeah. You know what?
Why not?
Well, I've saved it, so, alright, yeah. Hope you enjoyed watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.